I know I'm a bitch, but she just doesn't know.
Whatever, I got the point across. Basically, what I'm saying is that, like, Kanye is, okay, whatever the fuck with Kanye. We know that Hebrew Israelites exist. We as Jews are seeing this. We've been affected by it in certain communities. We understand this is happening amongst some Black Americans in this country, and also people who are not Black Americans. We get this, okay? I speak for me, myself, and I, as a Jew who has children with, obviously, you all see my man is Mexican. My sister has, her man is Puerto Rican. Her kids will lean much closer to, some may think she might appear to be a Black American girl, okay? And I'm just saying to you that it is exhausting and it is terrifying to think that Americans cannot get this together. Jews and Black people do not. We are the last people that should be fighting each other. We are the last people that should ever fucking be going against one another. We understand. We always survive and we always thrive. And Black Americans and Jewish people, whether you are Black and Jewish, whether you're Asian and Jewish, whether the fuck Jew, you identify on this racial infestation. It is the plague of the country of the United States that we care so much about race. But however you identify as a Jewish person, okay, we don't have issues with Black Americans. We just want to know, are y'all cool with us? Because we don't know what this Hebrew Israelite shit is, all right? But whatever, that's Hebrew Israelite. That is not Jews, okay? That's not Judaism. And for me personally, I'm okay with it. I don't need to force Hebrew Israelites to admit anything. I just, for the safety of myself, my children, and their children, need them to understand that there is a massive, we're not the same. We are a tribe, whatever. I could go on and on and on. I spent so much fucking time because I truly care about this conversation, okay? So thank you.
Well, I don't know who you were speaking for. You definitely was not speaking on behalf of Black Americans. If you don't know the Hebrew Israelite story, you don't understand it, then you should do one or two things, respectfully. You should either be quiet about it or ask them about it. No, that's not my point. That's not my point.
I've done
my point
that.
Is that
I spent a lot of time doing that, Corey. Thank you. But I've done that. I've spent a tremendous, anyone that knows me knows exactly what the fuck I do on this app, okay?
Corey. No. What I'm calling for everyone to do is stop the madness. We're not going to affirm delusion, right? Black Hebrew Israelites or whatever. It is delusion.
It is delusion. Delusions of grandeur, specifically. Delusions of grandeur.
They're not Jewish. Just stop. They probably have West African DNA markers. Take a DNA test and then holler back. This is dumb. I'm not doing this with you guys on this app. I'm everything from
this
Egyptian.
Is where dialogue don't become honest.
No, I am being honest. This is LARPing. This is stealing someone's culture. No, it's weird.
MG, let me just say this, and I apologize for anybody that I'm interjecting in front of, but MG, I feel like this is a Black American movement that's no longer set on equality. I feel like it's set on revenge, and that's something that I cannot get on board with. I'm sorry. Listening to the talking points of this Black American movement, it's no longer centered on equality. It's centered on revenge, and it's disturbing.
I have to move you, Corey. We've heard from you for hours. Let someone else talk.
That's all I wanted to say, MG. It's just very disturbing. I mean, do you not have the same optical vantage point of what I'm saying? It's no longer about equality. We want to have, a home ownership side by side with other people that we've been at odds with in history. It's all about revenge. It's all about revenge. It's all about moving the chips and, stacking things up against the oppressor. It's not productive.
See, that's an opinion and that's not a fact. Now, how
Corey, go on mute. Did you want to go?
I'm just making a point.
Yeah, you've been talking a lot. Let other people talk.
That's not about
we'll get back to you.
It's about
Corey, we're going to go to someone else, Corey.
Can we go to Rabbi Ema, please?
Yeah, I just wanted to add something in general that I think is even reflected in just the question of the room. Right? When I read the question of the room, I'm like, what about Black Jews? Right? I'm sure that's been mentioned before in the room, but I want to recommend an author to read for everybody. His name's Eric Ward. W-A-R-D, Eric K. Ward, and his seminal piece is called Skin in the Game. And it's his sort of personal experience of recognizing the following fact. White supremacy wants black folks and Jewish folks to think that we're different and to fight each other. That's what they want. And they're laughing their ass off. White supremacy and anti-Semitism are linked, right? And in some ways, Jew hatred is one of the linchpins of anti-Semitism that leads to anti-blackness, right? I'm not centering Jews here. I'm speaking historically speaking, how people become racialized. So the work is to become allies. That's the work, because our common enemy views us the same, right? And they're laughing their ass off, sitting back. Oh, look what we did. We got the Jews and the blacks to fight each other. Let's not let them win.
I want to know who's speaking on behalf of Black Americans, because MG is not qualified.
Oh, hold on a second. Whoa. Hold on, MG. I just want to ask Rena. Who's that in your PTR, Rena?
That's my sister, my older sister.
MG, you want to say something?
No, it's just the stupid shit that goes on Clubhouse, right? I'm black in Dallas, I'm black in Chicago, I'm black in New York, I'm black in Miami. I'm just not black on Clubhouse. This is just dumb, right? I don't even feel like I should have to respond. I'm an American citizen and I'm black. So that makes me a black American. I mean, if we're going to do this, play this game, then you're West African, right? Because that's where you're probably originally from. So you're probably Nigerian or Sierra Leone. Like, how far, I mean, are we going to play that game? What's the difference? You came from West Africa, I came from East Africa, and?
Sadly, MG, this is not just Clubhouse. Like, these people are like this in everyday life.
What does your DNA test tell you? It probably tells you that you're from West Africa. I'm from East Africa. Next.
So
Next.
Jay, this is the reason why we got to have a genuine conversation. Now, you're intelligent enough to know that somebody like me don't fall for that. We're talking about culture, ethnicity. If I was to ask MG about the struggles of
I am a United States citizen, so no, you stop. You don't get to tell me to stop in the room. No, you don't get to tell me a fucking thing. You stop.
That's good.
I am black American. I am black American, sir. Okay? We're gonna move on because listen, we're gonna move on because you're full of shit and you're not a good faith actor. You know, it's just this weird shit that you people do on the app.
I said a cultural, and I said the intellect cultural. The ethnicity. So you are trying to give this broad brush. If I was to ask you the struggles of
culture in the context of what, sir?
The culture in the context, like I was giving the examples. Could you tell us the story of the struggle of a Fannie Lou Hamer? Even if you know who she is, let alone I can go to a whole bunch of.
What does that have to do with the price of tea in China?
That means that whatever your struggle is in West Africa, I couldn't tell you about it because
I'm not West African. I'm East African.
Okay.
But I was raised in the United States. Yeah, we're not going to do the diaspora world. Yeah, this is stupid. You guys are dumb on here.
If you don't know, listen, you're using ad hominem. I'm not using that.
No, because you're an idiot. This is really stupid.
Corey, can I ask you, Corey, I know you hear me, bro. I want to ask you a question. And I'm being serious because I'm trying to understand this conversation and I'm a little confused. And I know this is going to sound stupid, and I admit I'm the first one to admit that I'm dumb. Tell me the difference between somebody that's African American and somebody that's Black American. Corey?
The difference would be in two folds. The ancestral lineage, the cultural upbringing is not the same. And that go in your estimation of the experience.
Okay, but of her lineage, and I'm not using MG because that's not fair to her. But I'm just saying, and like I said, teach me. I'm trying to learn.
This is a dumb argument. Like, right when people see me, this is so stupid. When people see me, they're not going to be like, oh, she's Ethiopian, and oh, he's ADOS. Like, white people are not doing that. They just look at all of us and say, oh, you're black. Like, that's where the conversation is. They're not saying, oh, she's Nigerian. Oh, she's, from Somalia. They're not doing that. And I don't know why black people on this app do it. You guys are weird.
Mine is the answer.
No, we're not going to do diaspora wars. This is boring. No one cares. We don't care. We don't fucking care.
I'm not talking to you. Why are you trying to open?
But I'm talking to you. We're going to move on.
Right.
But I'm talking to you. And I said we're going to move on. We're not going to center you. You've been talking all day, and we're tired of you.
All right, we're moving on. If MG says so, that's what we're doing. And it's her room too. I'm not just the top left. All the mods got the same power here. So, yeah. The Prolific, how you doing? Please do not go back to the subject we were just talking on. We're going to go back to the room title, which is Can Blacks and Jews Have an Open Dialogue? What do you think, The Prolific?
Yeah, I think Black Americans and Jews should definitely have an open dialogue, and I think it'll be healthy.
That wasn't the question of the room. It was whether Black and Jewish people can have a successful dialogue. Whether they should have an open dialogue isn't the question.
Yes, of course we can have the dialogue and we can have it successfully, but it, it has to be done in an arena that is willing to have it and is willing to understand that it's not going to be easy, and it really needs to be between Black Americans and Jews, okay? And there are plenty of Black American Jews, plenty of Ethiopian Jews, plenty of Jews that I believe Black Americans will be willing to also speak to that might make them a little bit more comfortable. I don't know. I can't speak for Black Americans, okay? But I'm just saying, I think it can be done. I'm not knocking your room at all, Jay, ever, okay?
Okay, but you interrupted when I was in the middle of talking. It's just so fucking rude, man. I get it. This subject means something to you. It means something to all of us. So let me finish a fucking sentence.
Eat McDonald's, get fixed, drink
Hey, Jesus Christ. Because what you have to say is more important than what anybody else has to say. The question I want to ask this gentleman who just came to the stage, since he just came to the stage and maybe he needs to catch up, is The Prolific. Where does it start at? Because after you, I want to go to Green Living because this gentleman's Jewish, and I want to ask him where the conversation begins. How do we get to that starting point? Because we've been running this room, Avra, since 8 o'clock this morning, and you know what? For the most part, in my opinion, it's been one of the best rooms on Clubhouse in months. In months. So keep your critique to yourself. The Prolific, where do we start this conversation? How does it start?
I think it could start at, both sides just coming to a common ground with respect for each side, and just, start off at how can we help each other? How can we be allies? And how can we, grow and understand each other? I think that's a perfect way to start the conversation.
Thank you for that. Green Living, my friend, how you doing?
Hey, Seth.
I'm great. Heading home and just listening to this conversation, and definitely believe that we can have an in-depth conversation, especially if you're like Prolific and you have real intention of wanting to have a real conversation instead of when I walked in here. So, and look, we have been allies in the civil rights movement. We've been allies for quite some time, and there was something happened. I don't know. I'm joking to say, it's like somebody took a right turn in Albuquerque or something like that, and we've gotten off track. But we've been allies. We marched together. We've been through this together. The Klan would have put us both and have killed us together back in the day. So we definitely have a lot to work together on, combine forces on, and be united on, and learn from each other and respect each other. I really believe that.
This is an interesting topic.
Would you like to chime in?
Yeah, why not? Can Jews and blacks have an open dialogue? Well, I don't think the issue is dialogue. I think the issue is goals in terms of orientation. And in my opinion, Jews and black people were in our nation's history, unified at one time. I think the breakdown came about when the 1960s was ending and the 70s came in, and Black America pretty much collapsed because of, various policies and decisions of the people of those at that time. And this is just my opinion. I don't know if the Jewish community could have done something, but obviously it was just kind of left to its own devices. So I would say if any relations would be built back up, kind of having that discussion on, okay, who can we help and who wants it? That would be a good start. As for joining BLM and all these other activist weirdos, yeah, regular Black people don't do that, so I wouldn't suggest taking that route either.
I have to ask you.
I think we're on the same page. Hey.
Seth, hold on a second. So, Isha, are you?
It's Isaac, JB. I changed my name.
Oh, Isaac. What's up, Isaac? Would you consider yourself a regular Black person?
Yeah, regular. Go to work. I don't have any weird ass political views or fever pitched activism rattling my brain. Yep, pretty much.
Thank you, Isaac. Corey, what do you think about what Isaac's saying?
Well, just for the record, I am an actual activist in the community. There's nobody, including MG, that got more influence in the Black community on this stage than me that I've seen so far.
Oh, don't talk to me. Just stop calling my
That
name.
being said, we're not a monolith in that sense that everybody does. We're not homogenized. There are some of us that are a little bit different. But for those who don't know, even the term African American, I was born in 77, 88, 89, that became official. We are the only group in the history of America where you go search our birth certificate, and from our mother to grandparents, grandfather, and so forth, it's going to have a different ethnicity on there, whether it's Negro, colored, Black, and so people don't even know the political implications of the term Black. But I would invite you to go read a document called Manifest Destiny. And you can read it in white folks' own words. The document is called Manifest Destiny. So if you don't have the historical, cultural experience and the information, how could you represent something you do not know?
Hi, Roya.
Hey, everyone. Finally off the clock. Well, not yet. 5 more minutes.
TGF.
TGIF. Yeah. Hey, Becky. Hey, Chava. Hey, Rina.
Hi, Roya, June.
Hey, everyone. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Well, close enough.
Shabbat Shalom. Shall we get the shofar out? Shall we start the
I'm
show?
watching the finale of Farmer Wants a Wife, Needs a Wife. So I'll be in and out of the room.
So, Corey, how do we begin these discussions? How do we sit down at the table? Where does it start?
Well, conflict resolution requires that